Hi, I'm Vicky. Welcome to my YouTube channel, Feather and Flow Yoga, and to this sequence which is designed to give you a full body stretch. It's suitable for all levels, including complete beginners. If you are a beginner, I do recommend that you have a yoga block to hand if you have one. Otherwise, no worries. You can always use a book, a thick book, or maybe a cushion, just something that's going to give you support in a couple of the poses that we do today. So when you're ready, come to a comfortable seat down on your mat in a cross-legged position. Hands can rest in the lap. And when you're ready, begin to imagine that you're positioning your heart directly over your pelvis and your head directly over your heart. Just making any adjustments that you need to sit really tall here, lightly drawing shoulder blades towards one another. And when you're ready, go ahead and close the eyes, or have a soft gaze down to the ground. And let's begin with a deep breath in through the nose. And when you get to the top of that inhale and you feel that your lungs are full, see if you can take in just one more sip of air, and then exhale fully through the mouth, let it all go. Breathing now in and out through just the nose, bringing all of your awareness to the breath, to the sound of the air as it passes in and out through the nose. And noticing with each inhale how the lungs expand in all directions. How maybe you sit up taller and feel a little lighter with each inhale. Finding space from the sit bones through to the crown of the head. And with each exhale, feeling grounded, feeling safe and secure, and knowing that there's nowhere else to be right now, nothing else to do, just honouring your time here on your yoga mat. And maybe after each exhale, you can become aware of a slight pause before the next inhale. Feeling a sense of calm as it washes through the body and the mind. And you can take a second here to set yourself an intention for your practice today, or even to carry with you for the rest of your day. No need to overthink it. It can just be a word that pops into mind, or a short phrase, something you feel you need to help you with your practice today. And then when you're ready, go ahead and flutter open the eyes. And we'll begin by stretching the neck. So as you're ready, lowering one ear down towards the shoulder. And then drawing a semicircle as you bring your chin across the chest so the other ear comes over the shoulder. Moving back and forth in your own time. Unraveling any tension or any knots that you feel. If it feels okay for your neck, you could even make it a whole circle, lifting the head up and back, just being really mindful. Changing direction. Gently come back to neutral. And from here, interlace your fingers and rest your hands on the base of your head. And gently draw your chin to your chest, but be mindful that you're not forcing the head down or putting any pressure on the neck. Your hands are just there for support. Stretching the back of the neck, allowing your elbows to droop towards one another. And then as you inhale, begin to gently lift the head as you look up. Allow your elbows to open up away from one another, opening through the chest. Imagining that you're being lifted from the ribs, so you're really gaining space here through the spine, opening the heart and the chest. Breathing fully and with ease. And then gently release. And from here we'll rise up onto our shins and find gate pose. So extend your right leg and have your toes pointing in front of you. Inhale, reach up over the body with your left arm, opening through the ribs, creating space. And as you exhale, windmill the hand down and reach up over with your right hand. So you're creating one long line through the whole right side body. Inhale to rise back up, and we'll do the same on the other side. So your left leg extends, toes pointing in front of you. Breathing in to reach up over the body with the right hand. Getting length from your right hip point through to the fingertips. Making sure we're not holding the breath at all. Allowing it to flow with ease. Big breath in, and as you exhale, windmill the arms down. Right fingers come down to the mat, left fingers reach up. Getting long through the whole left side body. Inhale to lift back up, coming back to your shins, and then come to face the front of your mat. Come through to all fours and tuck your toes and begin to sit your weight back towards your hips as far as feels good for you, stretching the soles of the feet here. I know that we often neglect our feet when it comes to stretching the body, and yet our feet do so much to support us during our day. So let's just give them a tiny bit of attention here. Breathing into the sensations. As you're ready, come back to all fours, bringing your wrists, elbows and shoulders to stack for one long line. Knees are under the hips, about hip distance apart, as we move through a few rounds of cat-cow. So inhaling to lower the belly, lifting the tailbone, lifting your chin and your chest as you look up. Exhaling to tuck the tailbone, rounding through the spine, drawing your chin in towards your chest. Inhale, the belly lowers, the tailbone lifts, the chin and the chest lift. Exhale, tucking the tailbone, rounding the spine, push the mat away. Last one here, inhaling to lower the belly. Exhaling to round through the spine. And then coming back to a neutral spine. And as you breathe in, lift your right arm high, look up at the thumb. And as you exhale, we're going to thread the needle, bringing our right arm through the space between left leg and left arm. Right shoulder comes down to the mat, so does the right temple. Option to stay here, or you can extend your left arm out long. Breathing fully. Bring your left hand back under left shoulder, push into that hand to lift up, look up at the right thumb and exhale. Right hand comes back to the mat. Inhale, the left arm lifts, look up at the thumb. Exhale, thread the needle. Same thing here, option to extend your right arm. Bring the right hand under the right shoulder, push into that hand as you lift up, look up at the left thumb. Exhale, bring your hand back to the mat for all fours. And then from here, intending to keep your hips over your knees. So your hips are going to stay exactly where they are as you walk your arms out and your chest down, coming into extended puppy dog pose. Chest comes down towards the mat as much as feels good for you. Maybe the forehead comes down too. Opening the chest, lengthening through the underarms. Breathe here. And as you're ready, lifting back up and then coming to lie down on your belly. Bringing the elbows under the shoulders, forearms parallel. The glutes are activated, protecting your low spine. Shoulders away from the ears in Sphinx pose. And as you exhale, lower the chest, bring your hands under your shoulders. Elbows are close to the body as you inhale and peel the chest up for a baby cobra. Exhale, lower the chest, engage your core muscles and use those muscles to lift back to all fours. tuck your toes, lift your knees and your hips up and back, downward facing dog. Maybe bumping the hips from left to right, shake out the head. You can pedal through the legs, just make any movements that you need to before arriving in your first downward facing dog of the day, Ardha Mukha Svanasana. And when you get there, really make sure that you are not collapsing your weight into the wrists, but instead you are evenly distributing your weight through all four corners of the hands, paying particular attention to the space between the index finger and the thumb, making sure that doesn't lift up. Gaze towards your belly button as you push the mat away, hips lift up to the sky, intending to straighten your legs, but no worries if they're not fully straight. And from here, as you inhale, lift your right leg high, spread the toes. And as you exhale, we're going to bring the right toes down to the outside edge of our left foot. So we're crossing the legs in a variation of downward facing dog. Inhale, coming back to three-legged dog as your right leg lifts. Exhale, downward facing dog. Pause here, breathing in and out through the nose. And on your next breath in, the left leg lifts high. And exhale, same thing. Crossing at the ankles, variation of downward facing dog. Inhale, lift the left leg, three-legged dog. Exhale, regular downward facing dog. From here, bend the knees deeply and walk the feet up to the front of the mat. And as you inhale, find your halfway lift, bringing your hands to your shins. Your spine is neutral, look ahead. And as you exhale, forward fold, bring your belly to your thighs, let the head be heavy. No worries if you need to have a bend through the knees here. Inhale, rise up, extending your arms out to the sides and then up above, look up at your thumbs. Exhale, bring your hands to your heart for Tadasana, mountain pose. Inhale, the arms reach up, look up. Exhale, hinge at the hips, come back to your forward fold, Uttanasana. Inhale, find a halfway lift. Exhale, plant the hands and step back to a plank pose. Your version of plank. So remember, you can do this on your knees, but just make sure you really push the mat away. As you're ready, lower all the way down, keeping your elbows close to your body. Tops of the feet come down to the mat. And inhale, peel up the chest, cobra. Exhale, lower the chest. Engage your core, keep the elbows close as you push yourself back to all fours. Tuck the toes, lift the knees and the hips, downward facing dog. Maybe you like to step the feet forward just a couple of inches to clarify your foundation. As you inhale, lift your right leg high and spread the toes. And as you exhale, rise onto your left tip toes, round through the back, bring shoulders over wrists as you step your right foot to the front of the mat. Lower the left knee and come to sit tall here. Bring your hands to your hips. Take a deep breath in through the nose. And as you exhale, send the hips forward. But try not to dump your weight as far forward as you can go. That's not really good for the hip joints. Instead, just try and really find your edge, just a nice stretch. And then when you get there, magnetize your left knee towards your right heel. So that's just a real subtle shift of awareness, and it's going to help you to build some strength around the hip joint. Come back to neutral. As you exhale, plant your hands down to frame the right foot. Keep your hips high as you intend to straighten your right leg. No worries how straight it gets. You can keep a little bend through the knee. Maybe you can peel up the toes. And then from here, fold your upper body over your extended leg. As you inhale, bend the knee and bring the hips forward. Exhale, send the hips back, straightening the leg. Once more, fold over your right leg. Inhale to come forwards. Exhale, come back to neutral. And from here, plant your left hand. And as you breathe in, reach up with your right hand and turn to look up with your right thumb. Option to stay here. Or you can choose to lift the back foot and bring your right arm back behind you with the thumb pointing down, intending for the foot and the hand to meet. Maybe they do, maybe they don't, no worries. If they do meet, you can take hold of the foot and slowly and mindfully draw the heel in towards your glute. Staying out of any realm of pain, just looking for a great stretch here. Gently release. Bring your right hand down to the mat, tuck the left toes into the left knee, find your balance and rise up to a high lunge. Breathe here, big breath in through the nose, big breath out through the mouth. Option to stay here just like this, or you can flex the wrists, bringing your palms to face the sky, and gently look up as you lift your heart towards the sky for a mini back bend. As you exhale, use your core strength to plant the hands down, step back to a plank pose, lower all the way down. Inhale, find cobra. The chest peels up. Exhale, lower the chest, push into the ground as you come back through all fours. Tuck the toes, lift the knees and the hips, downward facing dog. Push the mat away for long armpits. Gazing toward your navel. Inhale, the left leg lifts, spread the toes. Exhale, rise onto the right tiptoes. Round through the spine, bring shoulders over wrists. Step to the front of the mat with your left foot. Plant the right knee. And from here, rise up, bringing your hands to your hips. And as you exhale, sending the hips forwards just enough for a great stretch. And visualize that you are magnetizing left heel towards right knee. Bring the hips back to neutral. Frame the left foot with your hands. Keep the hips high as you intend to straighten the left leg as much as feels good for you. The toes can lift up and then fold your upper body over that left leg. As you inhale, bend the knee, send the hips forward, stretching through the hip flexor. Exhale, send the hips back, straightening that left leg, fold forwards. Coming through once more. And then finding your way to a neutral position. Put your weight into your right hand as you lift your left hand. Look up at the thumb. Option to stay here or lift the back foot. Bring your left hand back behind you, thumb pointing down, intending to take hold of the foot. If they don't meet, just keep going with that intention of bringing them towards one another. Over time, your flexibility will improve. Full breaths in and out through the nose. Gently release. As you exhale, plant the left hand. And from here, tuck the right toes, lift the back knee, find your balance and rise up to a high lunge. Option to stay here or flex the wrists, palms face the sky. Inhale to gently look up, mini back bend. Breathe here. Exhale, bring the hands down to the mat, step back for your plank pose. And from here, lower all the way down and take cobra, or if chaturanga's in your practice, send your weight forward, lower halfway, and inhale for upward facing dog, just the tops of the feet and the hands on the mat. Exhale, roll over the feet, downward facing dog. Big breath in through the nose, big breath out through the mouth. From here, walk or hop to the front of your mat. Inhale, find your halfway lift. Exhale, forward fold, Uttanasana. And as you inhale, the arms come out to the sides and then reach up. As you come to stand, look up at the thumbs. And exhale, bring your hands to your heart for Tadasana. From here, lift your right leg and step back to a high lunge. And from here we'll come into warrior two. So pivot on the back foot. So the back foot is now parallel with the short edge of the mat. Your left knee is bent, the ankle is over the ankle or just behind. It's over the knee. Start again. Your left knee is over the ankle or just behind. Bring your hips in line with one another. And then open up the arms. Look out over your left middle finger. Breathe here, feeling strong in warrior two, Virabhadrasana 2. As you're ready, flip the left hand so the palm faces up to the sky and inhale to reverse your warrior. Exhale, come back to warrior two. Straighten the left leg, so both legs are now straight. And as you inhale, send the upper body forwards. And exhale, windmill the hands coming into triangle pose. So this is where you may need your block to bring the ground up higher to you. You can rest your hand on the block, or on your shin, or down to your mat. Looking out in front of you, or you can turn your head to look up to your thumb. Breathe here. Inhale, use your core to come back to warrior two, bending the front knee. Exhale, windmill the hands, pivot on the back foot and step back to plank pose. And move through your vinyasa, lowering down, inhaling to upward facing dog or cobra. Exhale, downward facing dog. Bend the knees, walk or hop to the front of your mat. Inhale, find a halfway lift, and exhale, forward fold. Inhale, rise up, arms reach out and up overhead. Exhale, hands to the heart. Step back with your left foot this time, coming into a high lunge position, and then pivot on the back foot for warrior two. Heels are in line with one another. Right knee is over the ankle or just behind. Extend your arms and really make your arms feel strong here. So if someone was to come and push on the arms, they wouldn't move. Gaze out over your right middle finger and breathe here in Virabhadrasana 2. Flip the right hand so the palm faces up to the sky, and as you inhale, reverse your warrior. Exhale, come back to warrior two, and from here straighten the front leg. Inhale to send the upper body forwards, and then exhale, coming into triangle pose, Trikonasana. Remembering you can use your block here to rise up, bringing the ground slightly higher. Gaze up to your left thumb if that feels good, or you can just look straight out in front of you. As you inhale, use your core to rise up. Bend the right knee for warrior two. Exhale, windmill the hands down, pivot on the back foot, step back to a plank pose. Breathe here, in and out through the nose. You can always do plank on your knees if you need to. And from here we'll move into pigeon pose. So to do that, bring your right knee to rest just behind your right wrist, and your foot is going to come out towards the left side of your mat. Then use your left leg to send the hips back. Now if you're a beginner, you may feel that your hips are quite high here, and that's absolutely fine, totally normal. You can use your block or your cushion and just place it under the glutes, just on the edge for a little bit of support. So finding what works best for you. Be really mindful that you don't roll onto the side of your leg. You want to keep both hips in line with one another, facing forwards. Shoulders are away from the ears. Option to stay here. If you're a beginner, stay here. Or you have the option to lift the back foot and reach back with your left hand. Maybe you can hook the foot in the elbow crease. Breathing fully and deeply. Gently release. And begin to send the arms and the upper body out in front of you. You have some options here. You can rest on the forearms, or you can bring your head to rest on your block, or you can come all the way down into a folded pigeon pose. Breathing fully here. As you're ready, lift the head and begin to walk the hands back under the shoulders. Tuck the left toes and lift the left knee. As you round your back, pushing into your mat with your hands, and step back to a plank pose, then into downward facing dog. And we'll just bump the hips from side to side, counterbalancing that pigeon pose before making your way into plank pose once more. And we'll do the same thing on the other side. This time left knee comes behind the left wrist and your foot comes out to the right side of your mat. Send the hips backwards peel the chest up, shoulders away from the ears. Once more, you have the option to slide the block under the left glute if that feels supportive for you. Full even breaths through the nose. Option to lift the back foot. Maybe you can reach back behind you, take hold of the foot, or even rest the foot in the right elbow crease, I should say. Full, powerful breaths. Gently release. And from here, sending the upper body to fold down. Again, options to rest on the forearms, head on the block, or all the way down. Just finding what works best for you. This is your practice. As you're ready, gently lift the head and guide the hands back under the shoulders. Tuck the right toes, push into the mat with your hands as you lift your back knee round through the spine. As you come back to downward facing dog, bump the hips from side to side. And from here, lower down onto your shins, and we'll come into Balasana, child's pose. So the hands can rest by the feet, and you can really let your shoulders round here. Should feel really nice after those pigeon poses. Gently begin to lift up, sending your feet out to one side and then extending your legs out in front of you. Toes point up to the sky. Breathe in to reach up with the arms. And as you exhale, forward fold, bringing your belly to your thighs, taking hold wherever you can with the arms, whether that's your shins, your ankles, or the big toes. With each exhale, allowing yourself to just melt down, drawing your belly closer towards your thighs. Really use your exhales to work through any discomfort. Focus on your breath. Yoga really teaches us how to be with ourselves in times of discomfort. So just allow whatever arises to just pass on by. Gently release. And come to lie down on your back with your knees bent. And heel toe the feet so that they are about mat distance apart. And then allow your knees to droop in towards one another. Hands can rest on the belly. Eyes can close for a breath or two here. As you're ready, begin to heel toe the feet back to about hip distance. Hands come down by your sides and begin to press evenly into your feet so that your hips lift up. Your chin is slightly tucked so your neck is long and supported. Option to stay here, or you can interlace the hands underneath you and slowly roll onto the sides of the arms, drawing shoulder blades towards one another, creating just a little bit more space for you to lift up the hips, opening the whole front body here in bridge pose. Feeling the glutes activated, growing in strength. Gently release, lowering down. Extend your left leg long and lift your right leg up, toes point up to the sky, and take hold wherever feels good for you. That can be behind the thigh, the calf, maybe you can take hold of the big toe. Extending the leg and using your hands to guide the leg slightly closer towards your face. Being mindful, not causing any pain, just finding a really good stretch here. And you can play around with pointing and flexing the toes, noticing how that feels. Breathing into your stretch. Gently release, hug the right knee in, and then send your right arm out to your right, keeping hold of the leg with your left hand. Use that left hand to pull the leg up and over your body so that you come into a twisting position. Maybe you can turn your head to look over your right shoulder. With each exhale, feeling your right knee and right shoulder grow heavier towards your mat. Gently guide the right knee back as you come to lie back on your low back, and then extend that right leg and lift up the left leg this time. Same thing here, taking hold wherever works for you. Finding your hamstring stretch, gently guiding the leg slightly closer towards you. Breathing here, making sure you have a long neck, the chin is lightly tucked. For protection for your neck. Option to point and flex the foot. And then hug the left knee in. Left arm comes out to your left. And use your right arm to pull that leg over the body. Option to turn the head to look over your left shoulder. Full body twist here. Gently guide the leg back to neutral. Extend both legs out long. Take your feet out as wide as your mat. Hands can rest on the belly or off the mat with the palms facing up. And go ahead and close the eyes. And just allow a feeling of relaxation to wash over you. Noticing a feeling of calm and stillness. And if thoughts come, which likely they will, just allow them to pass on by, not giving them any of your attention. And if you like to pause this video and take a longer Shavasana, feel free to go ahead and do that now. Thank you so much for practicing with me today. If you like my video, please let me know with a thumbs up, or I'd love to hear from you in the comments section. And please subscribe to my channel, Feather and Flow Yoga. Namaste.